biz pro, that's how we roll. Using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, that's how we grow. Using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone. I am Crystal Mitchell and my co-host is on his way in. He has such a long distance to come. Gilbert Buchanan, so he should be here in a second. And so this is Friday, November 1st. We are at the tail end of the year. And so if you haven't got your goals satisfied by now, I don't know what to tell you guys because you literally only have about workable, probably about 5 more weeks in this year. So we're going to start working on next year for those goals, but hopefully you accomplish those goals. But most importantly, what we're excited about right now for everyone in America, we have an election coming up November 5th. So I hope you all are ready. I hope you've gone out and filled out your ballot and you are ready to vote on the 5th, or you've already voted, which is vitally important. This is one of those elections that is probably the most important election of your lifetime because our democracy is in jeopardy right now. And so we want to make sure everyone goes out to vote. If you're not voting, that is a vote. Just may not be for the person that we would like to have in the office. But regardless, it's still, and understand if you're not voting for yourself, then you should be voting for your children and your grandchildren and your neighbors' kids and your nieces and your nephews, because this world is for them. For those of us over 50, we can coast out now, but for them, their lives are just beginning. And so we want to make sure that there is a country here for them to function in. So we're not voting for ourselves. We're voting for the young people that are coming behind us, just like our parents and grandparents voted for us as we were coming up and left us an amazing world to be whoever we wanted to be, to run businesses, to be employees, whatever it is we chose, whatever our goals were. Our parents built were the trendsetters so that we could do that. So we just want to make sure we're all recognizing our responsibility to the generation behind us. So I want to thank you for joining us. I don't know where my co-host is, but he should be here. I am just back from an incredible 16 days of no business, and I was on vacation. I went to New York, and I had a fantastic time in New York. I had my BizCamp program. My kids were competing in a national competition, and so we won out of 53 kids. We won first place and second place. I am so excited and so proud of these young people. I pour into young people. That's my passion. And they stepped up to the plate, and it was awesome. So one of them is the recipient of $10,000 prize. And then he also gets an opportunity to sit down with Damon John for a 45-minute consultation on his business product. So proud of this young man. And then the other winner, her name is Salona. His name is Lucio. I can't remember Lucio's last name, but and then Salona Allen, she actually has won a couple of times, but she came in second place. So it was awesome seeing them present their businesses, Shark Tank style pitch deck, and it was incredible. So that was the beginning of my vacation, and then from there I flew on to Egypt. And I spent time with my daughter and grandbaby, and it was just magical. We spent a couple of days in Cairo, and then from Cairo, we took a train and we went to Luxor, which awesome. My first time in Luxor, and all of no, they didn't have pyramids. They have temples and uh, uh, and other event. In fact, the whole entire place of Luxor is something to do with ancient Egypt and the kings and the pharaohs, and that was incredible. And then, as a surprise, we got to go to Aswan, the Nubian village, where everybody looks like myself, and they also are very thrilled to meet an American Nubian sister or cousin, as they called me, and that was cool. And Aswan is a beautiful place. It's surrounded by water, and it's a dam, but the dam is cutting off the Nile, and it was great. And you have to get from place to place by boat. And I met some incredible people, and just got to know that part of the world. And so can't wait to go back. So this is my third pilgrimage to Egypt since my grandbaby was born, and he's now 2 years old, and so that was pretty cool. So that is kind of what I've been doing since we took off 3 weeks ago. So we were pretty much off the entire month of October. I think yeah, the entire month of October, and it was great. I came back relaxed, rested, um, health vitals are all in place now, which is why I took off such a time, was so that I could get my health, make sure my health was on par, and so just thrilled to death with that. And so now I know it's very important for all of us from a self care standpoint. It is important that we disconnect and go off the grid and really take care of ourselves. You know, work will be there when you get there. In fact, everybody started scheduling in November, so they were fine in October. They didn't fall apart, and businesses didn't fall apart. So I know now that I can take off and not have to worry about business. And I suggest everybody else do the same thing. Now I got fresh brain. My brain can think. As I was having problems before, and I was just so tired. I had done so much work and over the month. And what's happening here? Gilbert is having a problem. Hold on, let me find out why he's having a problem. Oh, come on. Okay, why can't I log or retreat? I can't get in. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. Close out and come back in. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with him. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. We got a great guest today to kick off our month. She has a company that specializes in merchandising and payment solutions for small businesses. So I'm excited to talk to her. Just met her. We've been crossing in circles. We have mutual friends, but we've never met, and so this is our opportunity. And so I'm excited because as a small business owner, for those of you that are tuned in, you know that's one of my pet peeves, using inadequate payment solutions for your business, or not tracking your money when it comes in, and not invoicing using systems that you can't track your accounts receivable and be able to follow up on that, so you make sure you get paid, but making sure that you do have a convenient way. That's really what it comes down to, a convenient way for your customers to pay you, and you are not working for free. Um, so she's going to be here. And since Gilbert is having a difficult time coming in right now, I am going to go ahead and bring her on. And then when he finally gets himself in here, we will have him join in the conversation. So I am going to bring in Miss Tina Louise Penn. She is the CEO of PayLab Plus. Hey, Tina, welcome to the Business Zone. Glad
Pleasure to be here.
and so Tina specialized, as I said, in merchandising and payment solutions since 2005. She's helped many companies streamline their payments, and she is committed to excellence and honesty. But she brings a wealth of experience to the dynamic world of world payment processing. And a lot of times businesses forget about this component. um, I use QuickBooks, and so QuickBooks has a payment component to it, so I can make sure I get paid in a timely manner. And I love the fact that it stays on top of my delinquent invoices when they go past the date of delivery, and so that it works for me. If I have to pay money for that, then it's that's important.
It
So,
is important.
welcome to the Business Zone. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What inspired you to get into this business, and how long have you been in business?
Pleasure to be here, Crystal. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited about this conversation. To answer your question on how I got into this business, I fell into it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's an industry that a lot of individuals in sales is not a thought industry.
Yeah.
And how I fell into it is being an entrepreneur. I did start a company, industrial cleaning company, in the recession of the early 90s.
Oh, okay. I remember that one.
Yes, so did I.
That's when I became. That's when I got out of a business and came into coaching, because I was in the financial industry and they took a major hit, and I had to find a business that was recession proof. So accounting is recession proof.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And interestingly enough, I was doing real estate at the time. So in the early 90s, when that recession hit, real estate tanked heavily.
Wow. Yeah, it did.
So I was inspired by my mother, who at that time had a very thriving business of her own that she started in 1960 in the cleaning business, but high-end cleaning business in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
okay.
Okay. Uh, Celebrities, politicians, company owners, things of that nature. I went to her and I said, Mom, I need a little help. So she loaned me some money to start a business I knew nothing about. I only knew it from her working so diligently as a Black single mother, and just just thriving and succeeding in the circles that she you know was engaging in.
Wow. Okay.
So she referred me, and this is great about networking in business, as you know.
Mhm.
She let her clients know that I was entering into business. My first month in business, I got my first cleaning contract, because I did industrial cleaning, at the building at 7080 Hollywood Boulevard and La Brea. It's an
Oh,
11-story
I know where
building.
that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, just having my mom, supporting me, I figured, okay, to clean this building, just start from the top and go down to the bottom.
Okay.
I hired a crew, put an ad in
Okay.
the paper, hired a crew, got the crew there, and started to build momentum just from that one relationship that my mother referred me to. And it
Okay.
just grew and grew and grew. At that same time, I was also a mother, new mother, and I was determined that everything that my husband and I worked very hard for, I was not going to lose
Okay.
because of a recession. But what I also found out in the years that I did build my business, 252 employees, by the way.
Well, congratulations. In 1990, a black woman with 250 employees.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Well, 50, no, 52 employees.
Oh,
Now,
52. Well,
yes,
that's even 52 employees, because most people would have been doing that by themselves and a couple of relatives. That's what would have
exactly.
happened.
Right. No,
Right.
it was just me. I kept continuing to just network and go out there and start to deal with what there was to deal with in an environment that was mainly man driven.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for
You
sure.
know, I also was part of the state project of cleaning up CSUN in the earthquake in '94.
So
And
you
I thought to
actually,
myself, you know what? I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to walk in the office and say, do you need any help? And that's exactly what I did. And they were like, yeah, when can you be here tomorrow? I need 15 people. Not a problem. I'll get you 15 people. Didn't have 15 people, but I got them.
that is that is fantastic. Wow. Um,
Now,
your
that,
business
go
your
ahead.
business took off, right?
Took
I mean,
off,
took off, right? Because a lot
took
of times
off. Three counties,
there's a small contract here, or a small, not even a contract, a small opportunity here,
opportunity.
and then
Yes,
you work so hard to get contracts.
yes,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely.
okay,
So I decided to make a decision because I was a mother and I wanted to like have balance in my life, just like you just shared with us, you going to Egypt and just kind of just taking a break, stepping away, rejuvenating,
yes,
all of that, right?
yeah,
So I decided to dissolve my business because it was important for me to be also a mother, and my time was very valuable. I
okay,
started to look at that. Within a week, I got this call, and this new startup was looking for a salesperson. I'm like, well, I can do that. I mean, went out and got contracts for buildings for some of the biggest property management companies in Los Angeles. I said, not a problem. Let me go check it out. Got my interview. I asked the CEO, you can make money doing this? In the credit card processing business. Because, like I said, it's not a thing like, oh, I think I'm going to do that.
no, that's not.
No,
You
it's
know,
really not.
no,
And
it's
he,
not
he
that.
actually looked at me with a very serious face. He's like, yes, you can, and a lot of it. I'm like, okay, I'm game. So I dove in the deep end of the pool. And I was
Wow.
trained by the three owners of the company because I was their first employee. They're now got acquired by a multi-million-dollar company in
Okay.
Los Angeles. And I dove deep into fraud and how credit card processing works. How does Visa, MasterCard, American Express discover? How do they fit into this payments game? How do softwares work? Terminals. I had the privilege of working with one of the biggest processors on the first mobile POS device on the market that was the size of a brick.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
So I was very fascinated. Like, what next? What next? And that's what I believe in, the entrepreneurial spirit is what next.
Yes.
So I built a portfolio, in-house portfolio. They gave me a contract. They said, hey, build the house merchant portfolio.
Mhm.
And after 4 years, if you decide to leave, you can take 100% of your residual client base with you. And it was perfect timing because my daughter was going into high school. And I said, you know what? I'm going to step out again. And that's where
Okay.
I've been ever since 2005, continuing
So,
to build my business, nationwide clients, servicing them, giving them the knowledge that they require in payments, the new innovation of payments, the security of payments, and compliance. It's just been a really good ride.
so in the beginning, it was the machine, right? That's what you were, the big machine that they come in and hook
Well,
up for.
in the beginning, there were just the terminals. With the knuckle buster was just going out.
Okay.
Remember where you put the credit card and you click click, right?
Yeah. Rub rub. It was a whole lot of different kind of machines in the early days.
Right,
Rub rub.
right.
Right. But
That was going out, and then new technology was coming in.
okay.
Okay, so there are different types of POS devices, meaning hardware as well
Yeah.
as software.
Okay.
So software, because I also provide to e-commerce businesses, card not present businesses, business to business entities that don't
Okay.
necessarily use hardware devices. They use more of a software um, um, integration of payments and optimizing their payment flow, ease of use, customer experience, things of that nature.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because that's really important. And in businesses that I work with, knowing what the right one to select for their type of business as well. Cost sometimes has a lot to do with it. So I know there. I use like I said, I use an online service with QuickBooks. So
Mhm.
what does it? Does those payment solutions look like, and how many options does the small business owner have today?
All right. This is like an hour. So I'm going to condense this conversation.
Oh, okay. Right. As if you were going to me as a client, huh?
Right, right. Because the credit card processing industry and world of credit card processing is tied to credit cards that are issued by banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase. I mean, the list is long.
Right.
They're all tied to different types of what are called interchange. And to educate, as I educate my clients,
Mhm.
these interchange costs are very transparent because they are on the card brand sites, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. They're
Okay.
very transparent, okay?
Okay.
And they're tied to different brand issued cards, reward cards, flyer mile cards, all the nice perks that go with them. Corporate cards, fleet cards, they all have a different bucket of cost. Okay.
Okay.
What I do is then I educate my and consult with my prospective clients why the cost is applied to a transaction and how they get paid from their either hardware device and or software device. And the costs are going to fluctuate because of those rewards and those flyer miles that when they process.
Okay.
Okay. And then you've got other costs involved, a gateway, a processor cost, the authorization decline costs, the AVS costs. So it's my job in that consultative conversation
Mhm.
is so that I can break it down to my prospective clients of where those costs are going and what they're paying for. And then for me, where I also bring into my service of cost,
Mhm. Mhm.
okay? And it could be a range. There's four different types of ways that I will identify when I sit down with a prospective client, what's going to fit best for them,
Right.
okay? You know, I have competition. I have integrated payment platforms that are really great. There's Stripe, there's PayPal. Um, but I also offer as those pieces of software, customer service, PCI compliant knowledge as a offering just like they do at a personal level. And there are going
Oh.
to be times, well, I'll be able to even save on the cost of what they charge.
Oh. Okay.
Because when I identify that business, a flat rate might not work for you because there's four different types of levels of what will fit a particular merchant's bottom line.
Right.
What costs would they like to then be able to put back into their business?
Right. Exactly. And then the convenience, right?
The
So, or
convenience.
of how they're offering it and making sure that it works when they need it. If they're not um in a brick and mortar, and they are maybe out mobilely at a vendor
Correct.
booth, being making sure that they have accessibility to their systems, right?
Correct. And on top of that, there's also now different types of pricing structures. There's the dual pricing structure that has always been around for the last 40 years, which gas stations and hotels and Airbnb and your airlines have been using at a big corporate level. Now the smaller merchant now has that opportunity through the technology that I can show them to
Mhm.
also participate and allow the cardholder to make that choice. so
Oh,
that they can either pay cash or pass on the fee, whatever they deem would work best for them
okay.
in today's marketplace.
So business owners, or depending on whether they're like retail businesses or service-based businesses, what type of platforms would you recommend um, for, I don't know, a new restaurant, or and is there a certain processing application process? How do they get into a POS system that is all encumbered, I guess is the word.
Got it. Through my consultation with them, I'm going to pull a budget, if you will, of what they would like to either purchase or I can provide to them at a minimal cost in the software monthly. Like your Intuit, QuickBooks does that as well. They charge
Right.
you a monthly software cost. I can do that as well on my devices. You can see that you put there, thank you for sharing that screen, the very large terminal, which is a pay anywhere smart terminal. That's great for restaurants. So
Okay.
that there in itself is a $49 monthly software cost. Then you're paying for your processing fees.
Oh, that's not bad though for 49, because I
Not at
remember
all.
credit card machines being quite expensive on the
Yes,
monthly side
yes, yes. And
back in the day.
the competitive environment has gotten very um, in tune with that. So there are programs where there are what are called free terminal agreement programs. I'll give you this free terminal agreement. If you close your business, you move on, whatever it may be, just return it. If you don't, then you will pay for it. You're
Okay.
signing an agreement. With that said, we've made it in this industry and through my office as well, very convenient and streamlined for new businesses to open where it's affordable.
Oh, okay. Um, we're gonna take a little
Hi, Gilbert.
moment. That's Gilbert. Gilbert, this is Tina Louise Penn,
Hello, Miss Tina Louise Penn.
Hello,
How
Mr.
are
Gilbert.
you?
and we have
Man.
mutual contacts, Niall Cook and
Oh,
Selena.
okay.
That's how she heard about us.
All right. So what do you think of us so far?
I'm having a great time.
Man, I've been treated like a redheaded stepchild, man. I can't get in here. They
Okay.
locked they locked me out.
We have to figure out what happened to him, why he can't get in. We'll fix that. We'll figure that out, Gilbert. But Niall, Tina actually had started this business. In the late 19.
I entered into the business at a corporate level in 98.
Okay.
Hmm.
I then opened my own business in 2005, got the knowledge as what you and Crystal do for the community, which is really important, really
Hmm.
identify how to best incorporate myself because I have assets and I want to keep them. I
True
work
that.
hard for them. So I incorporated myself and started to market and network and service my clients and continue boarding my clients nationwide.
Well,
So
that's what
are you a certified business owner? Do you do business with corporations and the corporate world, or just primarily smaller business owners?
Oh no, I do corporate entities as well.
Okay.
Yes, I have been very fortunate to manage multi-million dollar portfolios.
so I have a question, Miss
Mhm.
Tina.
Yes.
So how is your business different than Elavon or Authorize.net?
Got it. So here's the differentiation of those two. Elavon is what is called an ISO. An ISO is an independent sales organization that has agreements with banks to then place their merchant with those banks according to the guidelines of that merchant. Because
Hmm.
when you're processing credit cards, you're processing an issued bank credit card. So therefore, that bank has its own agreements that a merchant then signs their guarantees, their agreement, their personal guarantees, their corporate guarantees, that they will fulfill what is necessary when they're processing transactions.
All right.
Okay, that's the difference between Elevon and, I mean, the list is very long. Heartland, you know, PayLab Plus. We all pretty much are looking to board merchants through entities and the banks that they have in relationship with.
So
Authorize
Ele-
that. Authorize that.
Elevon is a middleman. Are you guys a middleman
Same
also?
thing. We
Huh?
are. Elevon is an ISO, Independent Sales Organization for Visa and MasterCard. They have an agreement with the platforms that they send those transactions through, with banks that they send those merchants to. So when you look at Elevon, you go right down to the bottom, it'll say we're an ISO for so-and-so bank.
So the reason I'm asking you this is because those guys are raping me every month.
Okay.
And I'm not getting anything out of it, not even a kiss or some flowers. So
Okay, got it. Well,
I
I
really,
have a lot of flowers over here.
you've got a lot of flowers.
A lot of flowers. Now,
Well, we need to talk to see what kind of flowers I can get from you, because somehow I had Elevon set up on my account and I totally forgot about it. So they've been jacking me every month for probably a year now. So they're getting free money out of me. So I
Yes,
want to
they
cut
are.
that off. So we need to talk about
will
how
talk.
this works. I don't use these devices that you have here because mine is done online. People
Oh,
just
I
go.
got
People
it.
go. Huh?
Got it. I do that too.
Yeah. So
So
people
let me
just
give
go
you,
online and
yeah,
then
let me
they
give you,
purchase services or whatever.
yeah, let me give you a big picture.
Mm-hmm.
I have relationships as a rep for many gateways.
Uh-huh.
And there's certain gateways that are best fit for certain transactions.
Right.
Authorized Net is a gateway. They are not a bank.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Elevon is the same too, right?
Elevon is a merchant service provider that has a relationship with the bank. Authorized Net is one of their offerings to do card not present transactions.
Okay.
Okay. Authorized Net, if you will, and this is how I explain it to my prospects. Picture you at the counter in Macy's and you put your card in that terminal. That's what Authorized Net is in the card not present environment.
Mm-hmm.
Once anyone clicks through their checkout and or an attorney might use Authorized Net, anywhere the card is not present in the virtual environment,
Yeah.
they will process that card and get an approval or decline. Once
Okay.
that's settled, on the back end, the bank knows the amount of money that's been posted from that batch, and that's how you get paid.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what your schedule is like for today, but after this show, I'd love to talk to you because, like I say, I'm getting hit from both sides, from authorized.net and Elevon at the same time. So there's a lot of duplication of services going on there. So if I can deal with you, and I heard you just said your fees are $49 a month. So I want to see what that covers and how we can deal with this.
Okay.
And there are several reasons why I want to talk to you about this. You know, one of them, my co-host just talked about. You know, she says she's proud of you as a woman of color doing business and stepping out on the stage with all of those other usual suspects. So,
and let me ask this question since he's asking that: how many Black-owned merchant services like yours are there out there? Are there many? Because you're the first time I've actually heard of it.
Got it. There are not.
Wow. So you're
like I had mentioned, I am an anomaly.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now, we are a small percentage and successful in our own right. Very proud to know the gentlemen and women that I have met at many events, ETA events, conferences that we run into, but no, it's very, very, very small.
Wow.
Yeah.
And because it's not one of when we talk, Gilbert and I talk to business owners all the time, or businesses or people looking to start business, and our whole thing is as business coaches is start a business that is solving someone's solution, and you have clients for the rest of your life, right? Because they have a need, and being able to collect payments is very important, or have situations like Gilbert has, and but you don't know if all of them are the exact same, or as you said, there are many of them out there. But I have, this is the very first time I think I've ever, and so now it explains it, some Black person or woman that has gone to open up a business such of this nature. That's
yeah, anomaly. It's rare. I love this industry though, because it's such an interesting industry, because the vast array of businesses that need payments.
Well, right, exactly, and in today's world, especially since the pandemic, we're not seeing our clients anymore where they can insert their credit card and everything is online, everything is e-commerce type of situations, and so having the right product is awesome, and especially since like you're saying, you don't have to have you can have cardless situations. I think in the early days I used like Square. I used something called Pay Anywhere.
Yeah.
Always got to remember the passwords. And then finally I just saw that because I use QuickBooks. It's like, oh wow, you got a payment system. This is so much easier. I don't have to remember which one I'm using or whatever, and I can just give you a link and you can go have at it, or I can send you an electronic invoice, and that really works for me.
Right.
Our title is Payment Options That Can Make or Break Your Business. So is that true?
Yes.
You can choose the wrong payment option for your business that could really create a deficit in receiving your revenue?
Absolutely. Because you might not be in the correct program. There's different programs. There's the 3-tier program that might apply to you. There's the cost plus program. There is the flat rate program. And then you have your dual pricing program. So it really depends on what is going to be the best fit that I can analyze. And Gilbert, this is where I come in with you. When I see your last statement from Elevon, I can tell you exactly within 10 minutes what they're charging you.
Yeah, that's what they told me when they were trying to set up as well. So I have those statements available. So
and here's the difference. Here's the difference. They're all great companies. I pride myself on personalized customer service. Then things come up, I'm there. You get a chargeback, I'm there. Any price changes, I'm there. Your PCI compliance, which is very important, I'm there. My clients call my office. They don't call an 800 number where they don't know who you are. I know who you are. I know what you're doing. And then I take the ball and make sure that I get addressed. I am the problem solver.
Awesome. That's it. Yeah, because that could be hard as well.
You are already a friend of the show, so I just want to let you know you're family now. You just done your initiation. You're family now. So several things are going to happen. Now I'll be the guinea pig where you're going to test me first.
Okay.
And then we'll spread the word to all the other small businesses. We also need to do some workshops to introduce you to other small businesses to let them know that this platform and this resource is available for them. Because, like I say, many small businesses, I don't understand it. And so I'm expecting you to educate me as well. But we don't understand the payment process. We got our vendor portal, on our website. people are charging stuff and we don't understand how it works. So
Got
that's
it.
why we need to have you explain that process, because nobody knows what's going on when you click that cart and you click that button, that pay now and all that. We don't know what's going on back there. So that's where you come in to explain that, okay, when you click that in the cart and you submit your payment, this is where it goes. This is how it gets processed. This is how you get charged per month. That's the kind of thing we want. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it was good to have you on this show today to explain that to our small businesses.
Thank you. It's been
Now,
a pleasure.
gift cards and loyalty cards. This is branded to your to a company's business.
Yes.
Oh wow!
So I work with the vendor that I capture your logo. We determine how many cards you want to start with first, how we're going to present it, and then we're off to the races.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's a great way to get your customers to keep coming back.
Yes,
without
yeah,
Branding Target and Starbucks and all them other people.
yeah. And there's in that environment, there's what is called breakage.
Yeah.
And breakage is, and we all experience, you have this gift card, you see something in their store or something online and it costs a little more, you're going to use that card and you're going to buy
Yeah.
the remainder with your credit card. So that's what's called breakage.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I love that idea. I think that's a great incentive for reoccurring clients, and gift cards as well for the holidays.
Exactly.
Because you always should be branding. So this is, and then check price. So you do ACH as well.
Yes, ACH. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
For the same price, for the same 49.
I work with a portal called PayTrace that allows you. It's great for the B2B. Something Crystal, which is also has a QuickBooks plugin. Which then allows, here's the bigger picture, it gets a little techie. When you're processing business to business cards, this software then saves you 80 basis points on the cost because it's capturing more data.
Okay.
So now you're even being more profitable.
I am open.
There's the ACH piece in that as well, in that software.
I am open to this education that you're going to give us because, like I say, I've been not too happy with my system. I think it got set up in 2017.
Okay.
So I've been struggling with that since then because I just didn't like the fact that I got to go through authorize.net and then I got to go through some company called Thesis or whatever they're called. Thesis. And they're getting their cut and authorize.net is getting their cut. I didn't like that.
Okay. Got it. And I'm familiar with Thesis. Thesis is a processing platform. So yeah.
Yeah. And a couple of months ago, I was looking for my program, nonprofit that I work for. We received a grant and we had to change how we were paying our coaches. And one of the things we wanted to offer them was the convenience of an ACH. And, QuickBooks has something that's tied in with the time and payment. But however, what you had to have payroll as opposed to paying, and these are contractors, independent contractors. So I had to do a lot of research to finally find a company that would allow us to sync in or integrate with QuickBooks, because that's where our funding, where our processing is going on, accounting is going on, and then be able to make sure that that's coming into QuickBooks. So when we go do our reporting, we don't have to pull it from another location or use an Excel spreadsheet. So I thought that was just something I should have met you a couple months ago. But our next time when we go to renew, I will definitely be coming to you.
Yes, timing is everything, so it's all good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways in which we can work together on this because, you mentioned those gift cards and other things. If I can have those things posted on my website so they can access it that way too, that's a benefit. Okay. Somebody may want to gift a startup business platform to one of their family members or a friend. They can use a gift card for that type of thing. You see what I mean? So yeah, this is good. This is good that we found you, and we're gonna keep you. You're not going anywhere. You're gonna be with
Perfect.
us forever and
And,
ever.
our clients, I mean, because between Gilbert and I both, the number of businesses that we encounter, we're coaching on a monthly basis. Who some of them are just starting out, some of them, a lot of them. I know my business owners, they're using the Venmos and the Cash Apps and things like that. But the biggest issue when it comes to that is, especially with the Cash App, they're not tracking that income. So when it comes to year end of tax preparation,
Yes.
they haven't tracked that, and so when they're going for lending opportunities, they're like, "Well, you didn't make enough money." Well, they probably did make enough money, but they've been tracking it through these other systems that may or may not provide them with reporting, as well as I have a number of clients that's gotten used their, I think it's Venmo that they use,
Hmm.
Venmo, that the money's been pulled out of their account and then they got to go back and fight to get it. So that obviously no protections. And your products are, I see compliance there, so that means there must be some governmental, is it through the
The
FDIC or how are,
the PCI compliance co-host is a requirement via the government where it states that if I'm doing a transaction with a client, I cannot collect their data and keep it on my system. That if
oh,
they're using their credit card, that's part of that. And then there are other parts to the PCI compliance process as well.
Correct.
So it kind of keep us honest.
It does. And here's the bigger picture. In PCI compliance, which is critical, which a lot of merchants do not realize is about protecting themselves in their network of internet, because you're doing online transactions, even though authorized net takes on all of that liability on your
Yeah,
behalf, right?
yeah, yeah.
However,
mhm,
you still have to be certified through an SAQ, and it ranges, okay?
mhm.
If you are not certified, and two things happen. If you're not certified and the breach comes back to you under your IP address, they
Hmm.
start fining you and your business, which can
Exactly.
put you out of business. That's number
Yes.
one. Number two, if you have a merchant account and you've never done an SAQ, you are now being charged a non-compliant fee.
Hmm.
And those fees I've seen as high as $100, $125 a month of non-compliance. I've seen some clients that have come to me that I boarded who've been paying it for years and didn't even realize it.
That's
And
true.
that's just on that fee alone.
That's true.
Really?
Yes.
They when I first started, they jacked me that for 6 whole months before I realized what it was about and why I was paying that
They
and
don't
all of
they
that.
don't tell you about this essay.
Let's just,
What?
I'll put it to you this way, if I may interject. They, not bad or wrong, but it's important, especially with the work that you do, the value that you bring in a business. It's important to read agreements, make sure that you're staying on top of what there is to stay on top of. We all get busy, I get it. Okay.
Right.
In the PCI, if they're, and they sign you up, they should be telling you you've got 90 days to become PCI compliant. We're going to cover you for 90 days. After 90 days, you've got to do your SAQ, you've got to get your certification, you've got to do your scanning of your terminals every 90 days. Whatever that looks like, you've got to do that and stay on top of it. If you do not, then you are opening up yourself to a liability and cost.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's enlightening.
And
And just
I monitor my clients. I know when they sign them up, I get them familiar. I train them. I train them on their gateway. I train them on their terminal. I make sure things are set up properly. And then I then focus 30 days out, get them PCI compliant. Because I have the same reports. I have my back end office where I see all of my clients. I see all of their numbers. I know when they're PCI compliant, when it's due, everything.
And
Wow.
just so you know, the ramifications of this is they said when a small business is not PCI compliant, they can face penalties,
Yes,
fees,
yes,
legal action, damage to your reputation. Because
yes,
if your clients are hearing that, hey, those guys are not secured over there, you put your data in and they sell it or people can access it, then that's not good for us.
no,
That's going to mess with our reputation. So yeah,
yes,
many small businesses don't know, and I don't think they understand what PCI compliance is, because like you're explaining it to us, I'm sure many of the agents don't. Because when I first started, the agent that was trying to get me set up, they mentioned PCI compliance, but I didn't even know what it was. They never explained it or anything. But when I got hit with that fee every month for 6 months, I'm going, oh, what is this?
yeah,
Say, well, you're not compliant. How can I not be compliant? And they explained it to me. I said, oh, okay, I get
yeah.
it.
Wow. I
And
never heard of
you're,
that.
yeah, and you're an A1 SAQ, meaning you only have to do your certification once a year.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
And I do financial workshops all the time. In fact, I got one coming up on the 5th.
yeah.
I will let me look at doing, because
That would be
a number of
that
our
would be a
businesses.
good workshop co-host for you and Tina team up on, so she can talk about the compliance part
It's
with the
important.
clients,
Yeah.
because many of them, they've got, some kind of transaction which they do. And Tina, my co-host will tell you that we're not really fond of many of these payment system, cash pay or pay whatever, or Zelle or, I'm not trying to put them down, but they're just not, what we need it to be for small business.
Yes, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. And, for your listeners, I understand the thought process on those cash payments.
Mhm.
However, what I want them to consider and take a look at is when you're not taking a card branded transaction, you are eliminating 30% of your income.
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
taking
no,
my
that's very
good
true.
money, and I'm just going to take it right off the table if you don't take payments.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very important in the way we do business today, because we are we're not seeing people in person. We're doing it. So Maria, who's a guest, she's saying she's in our audience. What type of payment system is recommended for an HR B2B business model?
Got it. Again, I have I'm a rep for a company by the name of Paytrace. Paytrace has an incredible platform backend for B2B. Also includes an ACH piece in that integrated payment platform. It then also, as I had mentioned, allows these B2B transactions to capture more data from the processor, which
Mm,
then lowers their rate. So let me give you an example. Let's say that the card's interchange is 2.65.
okay.
It will lower that card because it's capturing more data associated with that business that you are sending that invoice to, and they
Hmm.
take the payment on a card. It's lowering it at least 80 basis points. So now you're down in the ones.
Wow. So that's great. So what was that company, so I can put it in the chat for
It's
her?
called Paytrace. But
Pay
call
Trace.
me. Call me.
Pay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put your information there as well. Pay Trace, and definitely, because when I coach for the Urban League, we do two types of cohorts. Right now, we're doing one with Intuit, and so Intuit has their whole platform program. But we do another program that we are. It's called the MBDA program, and it's helping businesses get to the place where they can know exactly if they want to do a capital raise, their bank loan readiness. program. But a lot of our we targeted food and beverage,
Okay.
and we targeted creatives. So anyone in the entertainment industry, anyone in the art and graphics, that kind of stuff. So they're taking payments, and so I'd love to be able to. And I do a financial workshop, prepping them on what is accounting, what are terms that just what do you need to understand as a business owner. So I go through a process, and so I can add in you and a referral to you, because one of the things I'm always telling them is be careful with those payment, very convenient. But again, you want to be careful with them because there is not as much security available to you. I use PayPal because of the fact that PayPal have I think they're FDIC covered, and
Yes.
I know I can get my money back.
Yes.
They have a lot more security
They have
built
a lot
around
of
it.
security than so I don't use. I mean, I use Cash App for personal, for family members, back and forth, but I don't use the Zelles and all those things.
Right.
And I've had clients. I had a client not long ago told me they pulled out almost $15,000 out of her account, and then she couldn't get it back, and
Yeah.
she's been fighting to get it back. Well, that will destroy a business if
Yes,
you
it would.
lose a small business. Losing that much money is detrimental to a business, especially if there's payroll involved.
Yes.
That's it for you. You
Yes.
can't make payroll, and that's a lot of money. You're not pulling in that kind of money on a regular basis. So this is the vital information. Maria, I am putting her information, and this is Miss Tina Louise Penn, and you want to give her a call to talk about your needs. And this is something that businesses don't even think about. Like when they're setting up their business, okay, business plan, this, okay, QuickBooks, or maybe some of them are not even doing that. This is not even a conversation I think I've had. Have you ever had this conversation with your clients, Gilbert?
Well, I do it every now and again. I used to do it more frequently before when I got hit with those 6 months of penalties. I used to speak on that more frequently, but recently I have not been. Every now and again I'll talk about it because I hear them talking about their portal and their payment system. So that's one of the first thing I ask them. Are you PCI compliant? Is your system PCI compliant? And they're going, what is that?
What is that? Yeah, that's usually the answer.
So that's when Tina comes in, to say, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it myself, but maybe because of the way I take my payments, I've never done one of the other systems.
Co-host, let's ask Maria what type of business she has, because this might be a good thing for her. Maria, if you don't mind, can you tell us what type of...
She has an HR consulting business.
HR consulting. Yes, so she's going to be charging for services online. So that's going to be required. You see what I mean? So yeah, she needs to be on top of that and know what's going on, because like Tina said earlier, one of the biggest thing that hurts us is those chargebacks. And if the system is not set up right, then when they do it, because again, co-host, I told you this, someone did a chargeback against me for $600, and that was just an illegal chargeback because he knew he signed up for the program, signed up for the system, he was paying X amount per month. Then he decided to say, hey, I didn't authorize the $600 to be taken out of my American Express card. So yeah, and it hurt me a lot.
So is that what the PC, how are they protected against that? Is there a refund coming back? Can they reach out to the facility? To the provider?
Got it. Here's the rule. And this is how, again, where I engage with my clients.
Okay.
The rule of the card brands say, no signature, no proof the transaction even happened.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happens here is I look at your website, I look at your checkout, I make suggestions, things of that nature. So you have what there is on your gateway checkout that
Yeah.
they're acknowledging they're
Yeah.
doing this transaction. That's number
Right.
one. Number two,
Right.
when you get a chargeback, you have 10 days to respond.
Mm-hmm.
When my clients get a chargeback, they call me. I'm like, okay, what happened? What was the process? Give me the big picture. Now I need backup. I need your authorized net approval. I need any agreements that this individual might have signed, anything that is pointing to this transaction. They then send it to me. I send it over to the RICS department of my provider. I then document my conversation with my client, and then they then take it to the issuer of the card holder who created the chargeback. Then they then have the conversation. Hey, look, this is what we've got. You
Wow.
signed up, you've done this, you've done that. Now, 9 times out of 10, the chargeback will get reversed. I've had instances where my clients were going to be like, no, we're not going to allow this to happen. I delivered everything. I'm like, okay, I'm just letting you know how the card brands work. You
Yeah.
want to fight this? I got your back. We're going to go to it. But do know, if you lose, they might impose a $500 fine on you. They might.
Whoa.
And chances are, Tina, chances are in that case, they will lose because they had nothing on their system that says, I am agreed to pay you this amount of money and I'm agreeing to take this amount of money from you. There's nothing because there's no signature, nothing. So most of the times the small business lose in that case.
I will somewhat agree with you, but I will say, thank you, Lord. I'm good at mitigating chargebacks.
Another reason for her to be.
It says it on my website. I'm good at that. So, again, that's how I work with my clients, right?
Yeah.
And I let my clients up front, look, if you're going to do any big transactions, let me know first. Let's be proactive, not reactive, because they're kind of like, oh, wait a minute, this is coming through. And why is it coming through? I want to make sure that the bank is very comfortable with the process. And then everything just runs as it should.
Now, how do you prevent something? I mean, if you're taking payments online, like through an e-commerce site, or like Gilbert and I, we're talking about doing e-courses. So how do you ensure that that's not going to happen? Or because, if it's all online, I don't know. I guess I do sign when I pay online, but I really don't, do I? I just put my card number in and I'm not really signing, am I?
You're not signing anything. Here's the bigger picture. You've got to make sure on your online presence, you must have a terms and conditions and privacy policy on how you do your refunds.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's number one. 9 times out of 10, they don't click on it, but you got to have it there because that's what I'm going to then present to the bank. That's number one. Number two, there are certain instances where I've had my clients work with their web designer that before they can check out, they click the box that they agree to the terms of what they're paying for.
Oh, there is something in some cases I have seen before I can submit. There's a little box just before that, understanding what the terms are, and you have to click through it and read through it. Okay, yeah, I've done that. A lot of the platforms that I've done something online, it has you do that.
And then when I'm doing the application, I'm asking the questions that fit the pricing model.
Yeah.
Right, because the more money you charge for whatever your services are, the more, there definitely could be some retribution there if they decide that you didn't. Everybody's not agreeing to on the same page. Okay, well, I'm just not going to pay you, like Gilbert said. I'm just not going to pay you.
Correct.
For that. So that could be. Maria says this is a great question and point about billing and payment for her business. I'm getting my infrastructure set up, and the payment vehicle is the last item I had left. I am so blessed to have connected with you all today, and I appreciate
Perfect.
you bringing this timely education to us.
And
That's
consultation is
great.
free,
So
right?
I provided, so Maria, give Tina a call. I provided the information there. I will put her website in, but reach out to her. What I love about it, and this is big for me, Tina, is um, customer service. I think that is what is lacking in a lot
Yeah.
of our businesses. And for me, you will have a client or customer for a lifetime if the customer service is there. Um, People forget that business people, your consumers, are the ones that keep you in business, and customer service is like generally what they're looking for. Price is there, but I may even pay a little bit more if I
Exactly.
know that if I have a problem, I can call you and
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
going to respond, and not just respond with no solution. You're gonna, you're gonna really find out what my needs are and deal with my needs on that level, not on a any other level other than my own needs. Right? It's not a generic cookie cutter kind of need.
Correct. And I've been very fortunate because that is my number one focus. When I started in this industry 26 years ago with that startup, I still have a great handful of clients that I still service to this day, 26 years later.
Wow. Gilbert, before you came in, Tina actually started a cleaning business in what was it?
The
Like
early
19
90s, 93.
the early 90s, and did quite well in that business for
Wow.
starting
That's
out.
amazing. So why did you give it up, Tina?
I felt it was more important to me to manage my time with, I had just become a new mother.
Oh, okay.
And my daughter was 4 years old when I entered into that business because of the recession at that time.
Yeah, and the
And it was
cleaning
important
business
to
can be
me.
pretty strenuous too, right?
Yeah. Oh, whoa. I learned everything about that business too from my mother, right? Waxing floors, doing machines, cleaning windows, doing water restoration, all of it. But it was
She
exciting
didn't have
for me.
employees. She didn't do it by herself, Gilbert. She had 53 or 52 employees.
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
That
It
that
was really
that means if you had 52 employees, that means you must have gotten to that point over 10 to 15 years, right? Because you don't
less
just
than
get
eight.
that many
No,
employees,
Less
first
in
than
the
eight.
out.
first,
Less than eight.
huh?
Less than eight.
Less than 8?
Uh-huh.
That's amazing. That's a miracle right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, because most people would have gone and done it all themselves. Of course, that would have limited their opportunities because they can't be two, three, four places at one time. But
Exactly.
no, she started a
Uh-huh.
business the way it's supposed to be started.
Right. And here's what and
Yeah,
here's a nugget
that's
that my
amazing.
mother said to me. And we as entrepreneurs, we look at this because nobody can do it better than us,
Hmm.
right? In our
Right.
employees. She looked at me one day and she said, Tina, take the broom out of your hand and give it to your people
Mm.
and let them do the work.
And that's
Yeah,
hard for business owners.
entrepreneurs tend to be
Yeah, that's hard for them to give up. It's like I got to do it all
yeah.
myself, even
Yeah.
though they can't do it all yourself. But you
No.
have to learn
Yeah,
how to delegate and pass it on. Train them, because of course they think they do it better than everyone. Train them, but then you limit the
yeah,
growth of your business.
Correct. Correct. And once you
Mom,
yeah.
that
told
was
me,
good
once you
advice.
told me that, I got it.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
See,
Tina,
she's been there, so she knows,
Yep. Yeah.
She knows, man. She's been there.
so Tina, as a female business,
And
a
that's the thing.
woman.
That's the thing about us. Go ahead, Crystal.
No, I was going to ask her, as a woman, black a black woman owning a business, and a woman, regardless of what would be some of the in today's world, would you, over these years of you being in business, what advice would you give to women entrepreneurs?
Got it. I have a vision board that I look at in my office every day.
Mm-hmm.
I come into my office with the presence of being unstoppable,
Mm,
right? Because the only thing that stops us is the conversation we have between our ears,
right.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
To always be curious, to engage, to reach out, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions and take the risk. See, the risk is where the excitement is.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you can look back 10 years and then see where you are now and say, you know what? I am an entrepreneur. I did what it took to get where I am and offer my offerings to people and be part of their growth and their business and be proud of what I provide to them.
Mm,
Everything else just falls into place for me.
wow.
So just be unstoppable, engage, look at the destination, get your goals out, you know, get uncomfortable.
And obviously you're not you never limited yourself, because unfortunately I
Never.
find a lot of businesses think very small, and if they start one way they can only see it that way, and they can't really get outside of that box in
Yeah,
order to really expand. I mean,
yeah,
because what you've done here, it could have stayed at the level of you just doing this in one company that you were connecting with and not offering all of these services, just offering the credit card services, and that's it.
correct, correct, correct.
But you basically are operating like any other big boy out there.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely. And that's how I see myself. I provide what they provide.
okay.
I'm, yeah, limitless. And
I
that's what
like
I would
that.
offer to any entrepreneur is just be unstoppable.
I like that. I like that, because they so many of them. I don't know. Gilbert's clients are a little different than my clients. Gilbert's clients are doing procurement opportunities and supplier diversity and things like that, where the contracts are big, so they have to offer. Because we have a number of women in our network that are doing construction
Sure.
contracting, and they're like you. They're just amazing in a space that's predominantly male
Yes.
dominant,
Yeah.
and you figured out how to be relevant in that space.
Absolutely.
Was it
Absolutely.
was it challenging in the beginning though? Because I don't think I've ever seen a woman come out to do when in the early days they were doing a lot of door knocking for credit card use and stuff like that, or credit card machines.
Right.
I don't think I ever saw a woman that came through the door.
Right. I do a lot of cold calling,
Oh, okay.
which I
Man,
like.
Tina is in beast mode, man. She
I
don't
am.
play. She don't play, man. She's in beast mode.
I am. I am. And you know what? When, being certified as well, that really develops you in your communication skills.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've actually been at a certification event where I stood up and pitched my business to everybody in the room.
Oh, that's right. That's how it should be.
Okay. Now, that's not taking a risk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
But that's what entrepreneurship is all
Dude.
about, though, taking risks.
Yeah,
If you're in business and you're not taking risks, you're not a true entrepreneur, man.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you want that business
Period.
to stay small, and you're not out there researching to find out just what the capacity or potential capacity is for the industry you're in, then you're really you're limiting yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Wow,
I
you
love what
are.
I do. I love what I do. Love payments. Love talking about it. I'm a geek. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a necessary part of business, and as Maria says, when you're creating your infrastructure, you really don't think about that. You just figure, okay, somebody will mail you a check. Well, today, that was the reason I like, don't mail me a check. Just send mine. Here's my electronic invoice. Pay it through that. That's what
Exactly.
I want you to do, or
Exactly.
ACH, whatever it is. But no, don't mail it because that mailing thing, and then I got to go to the bank, and then it's just
Right.
disaster. Yeah,
Ways to be efficient.
right.
You
And
know,
so,
for
go ahead, Gilbert.
Maria, Maria, I'd like to extend this courtesy to you. I would like an opportunity to look at your back office because you said in your message here you're getting your infrastructure set up and that your payment vehicle. So it's great. All three of us can help you in that area. I mean, Tina can help you with setting up the payment system and all the compliance issues you need to go through. My co-host Crystal, she does the bookkeeping, accounting, all of that stuff, and I do infrastructure, back office, and all of that readiness. Make sure because if you're doing HR, there's a certain level of readiness you're going to need to have, so we want to make sure your back office has all the documents you need for your HR business. So I'm putting my contact information in the chat right now. I'd like you to reach out to me so I can do a free assessment of your business to see where you are and how much help you need. Okay, Maria?
Yeah, very, very important. The way you set your business up in the beginning is
Critical.
the critical to make sure that you have success and you don't want to be getting ready. And that's what we do is like business ready. An opportunity comes up and now you're scrambling because you're not ready. And now you got to backtrack, right? So
Yeah.
clients come to me, especially during the pandemic. Not so much now because of we've kind of got them on the right track, but during the pandemic, man, nobody was ready to apply for any kind of assistance because
Right.
they didn't have the taxes done, they didn't have accountings, they couldn't provide P&Ls, they just couldn't do any of that, mainly because they just been operating a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they're operating a business and payment, being able to take payments is really, really important, guys.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it is part of that infrastructure, as Maria said, having that already in place so you don't have to think about it. And having someone like Miss Tina here who is that provides such excellent customer service. So
I am
I am
just so
gonna,
proud of her, man.
I
So
know, I'm
proud of
just
her.
gonna be referring you to my clients and the cohorts that I'm doing.
Thank
And
you.
I would like to make an introduction to you to the Los Angeles Urban League because we just brought well, we have a couple cohorts going on, but one of them we have about 50 business owners in, and then the second one, which we do every 6 weeks, there's about 30, no, yeah, about 30 clients in those, and they're all, like I said, the food and beverage are all taking monies for generally on their websites. But even if it's no more than making sure that they have this
Yeah.
Exactly.
PCSD
Yeah. The
compliance,
compliance
that
piece is
would be
important,
great.
man.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's important.
And that's my position as well. I'm there to support you, whether you're doing business with me or not.
Yeah.
Right,
I want to
exactly.
make
But
sure that you are fully empowered and equipped to keep growing and growing and growing.
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So I'm going to refer you to the clients the organizations that I work with to do the coaching. I think you would be a great value added
Thank you.
to them because this is that the PCS thing is the first thing I've heard. I was like, what is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's important, man. I learned about this back in 2007. And,
Mm,
ever since then, I've been doing my thing. And the more I do it, the more I'm realizing that, hey, you need to pay attention to this. Because even like co-host, my platform, Small Biz Pro, right?
mm-hmm.
That's a subscription platform. And people are making payments online. So when they do that, you got to pay attention to the PCI part of it. There are 12 requirements also that many small businesses need to understand. And that stuff they can talk to Tina about. And, I don't want to step on Tina's toe because that's her playpen. And also, I'm thinking when we do certain workshop, it would be nice to do a collaboration,
I would love
So
to. I
yeah,
would love to.
to bring her in because right now I'm coaching some entrepreneurs through a program called a Business Evolution Program for GLAC. And I love whenever I do my coaching sessions, I want to refer them to you so they talk to you because many of them, they take payment online. So they should be talking to someone like you.
No, I'm going to incorporate her in my spiel.
Yeah, definitely.
When I'm doing my workshops,
it would be an honor. It would be an
honor.
honor.
I got one next week, and that's what I do for. I do it for the Urban League, and I do it for Vermont Slauson. I do all of the financial workshops and helping them get their financial infrastructure in place. So I will be including you as my referral now.
Just so you know, Tina, we don't trust anybody. Okay, we don't trust anyone. And for us to embrace you like this today, the first day, there's some level of trust going on there.
Well,
and plus, that you were referred by someone we respect.
Yeah, Niall and Selena, we definitely respect. And
those two ladies. So you're coming from that stable, so you automatically get some respect from us. So
thank you.
Yeah. So we don't trust anyone.
and I just like the fact that she's a very strong woman that embraced business the way it was supposed to be embraced, and grew and actually created a business that has major growth and scaling. So awesome, my friend. Thank you for because I was out of the country the beginning of for the last 3-4 weeks, I saw it coming in, and I had talked to the other young man earlier, but she reached out to me and said, "Wait a minute, I got something that says," I was like, "Oh wait," and then it turned out he was on another day anyway. So when I got your email, I just could have hugged you because I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta create a subject matter for tomorrow." So I had to create a whole show, and I was so tired.
And look at us. Yeah, all organic and just like got it all out, and you were awesome.
Right, exactly. And I looked at I was like, okay, let me look at one more thing tonight before it's like, oh wait, oh great, because I was gonna have to wake up this early this morning. And it was perfect. So you thought it was a blessing for you. It was really a blessing for me.
Got it.
And Maria, thank you, Maria. I appreciate you accepting my free consultation. You're going to love it. You're going to get a whole lot out of it. And anyone who interfaces with us, Maria, just so you know, they get a whole lot out of it. And it's stuff they don't have to pay for up front. They don't pay anything. They get some value. And then if they decide to move forward with us, then there's more value, a value added exchange going on. So yeah, please go ahead. You said you've texted me. So let's set up an appointment so I can do an assessment. You're going to see how amazing this assessment is on your business. So let's do that. And then we'll see how much work you need. You're also going to meet with my co-host Crystal and see, as far as the bookkeeping and accounting part, how that works for you, how it's set up. And then, of course, Miss Tina Penn, man, she's in beast mode. So she's going to make sure that your payment portal is set up the right way, and that you have those requirements on there, like you have FAQs, you have other types of things on there. Like when I make my car payment, right, to Ford, they have this thing on there. When I make a payment, they said, by you checking this, you are agreeing that to these terms and conditions, every time I make my payment. So that's part of their PCI compliance right there. So Tina will, go over those things with you, Maria, and make sure your platform is set up right.
So Tina, Gilbert has a product called Small Biz Pro, and it does a 20 question assessment on all from structure, everything that one would need to set up their business, and more for contract readiness, but business readiness first. And so it scores you. And so then from there, he can determine what you need, and then address turning that no into a yes. And so that's the point of Small Biz Pro. So it's really an excellent product. You know, I've some of our other clients have used it, and then I get a report. That way, I kind of know. We encourage them to answer honestly, and then that way, you know, okay, this is we can address this. Do you have a business plan? Are you have what's your legal structure, or do you have corp company minutes? All of those things, so you can know right off the bat. And every now and then, some people ace it, and then most of the time, though, what is on the average, Gilbert? Most of them are like somewhere
Yeah,
like 40 to 50%.
40 to 50%. You know, I got two clients last week. They were at zero. They're at 0 points.
Oh,
So you know they have a
0
lot
points.
left to do. Zero,
They had not done anything.
wow.
Wow.
nothing at all.
Wow. Well, there's the
So
building block.
I know. So you know that was, and even if someone scores 100%, I still want to see their documentation, because some small businesses, they think they're ready, but they're really not.
Right.
You ask them, okay, do you have your um, statement of information? Do
Right.
you have your articles of incorporation? They say yes, but they've never seen it in like 2, 3 years.
Oh, I had a client the other day. I said she was telling me, and she was kind of all over the place. And so I said, she goes, and I'm not just, I can do this, I can do this. I was like, is there a business plan in place? And she goes, no, okay, well that explains all this all over the
Right.
place.
All over the place. Exactly.
That's what we got to start first. Let's get
Yes.
us
Right.
a one
Yes.
pager so we
Yes.
can become very succinct on where we are, and then we
Exactly.
can move forward with how we
Exactly.
gonna grow. But we got to first make sure we capture it. But
Right.
Tina, it's been awesome. We are so pleased
A
to have you,
pleasure.
and definitely going to refer you to our associates and clients, because I think this is an area. I would love to see my clients stop using the Zales and the Venmos. I'd like to
Oh,
see
for
them
sure.
be
And I'm
big grown-up business
exactly.
people.
And I'm also interested, also as we're moving forward in this relationship, to get to know more about what you offer, Gilbert, and
Yeah.
you as well, Crystal, because I do a lot of networking, um, and have conversations, because I'm never afraid to have conversations with people. I'm
Hmm.
like, what are you talking about? Oh, did you know? Um, can I jump in there? Um, to be able to also refer you
Okay,
uh, business as well. So, and that's what the world of business is
should be.
for.
Yeah, that's what the way it should be. We should be, because everybody has resources, and nobody should be in competition, especially in the Black world that we live in.
Right?
We should be trying to make sure all of us are doing exceptional business so that we don't get turned down for opportunities. And that's one of the things that we're doing right now. All our organizations and all of us as business coaches and consultants is making sure our businesses are ready for what's about to happen in Los Angeles, now in California, with all of the opportunities coming up with the World Cup. We had the LA Business Connect. She was on. I have another podcast. It's called
Okay.
Community Briefing, and I'd
Mhm.
love to have you come over there and talk as well. I started it. It was inspired due to the pandemic. I wanted to make sure that all our business community and business owners knew exactly where the money was. So we initially started bringing on bankers, because they were, all this money that was coming in from wherever. Well, how do you
Sure.
apply for it, and what do we need to do? And so it's a community-based environment, and uh, so we have anyone that's going to come in that's a leader or a stakeholder that is sitting at tables where conversations are being had by us Black people, and then you actually have accessibility to them, and then you can reach out. So yesterday I had her name is Simona Codwell, and so she's doing the LA Business Connect, getting people ready for the Olympics, for the World Cup. I will actually send you. I'm getting ready. Tonight. I'll edit it. I will send it over to you. She did a whole PowerPoint, because you definitely should
I'd
be
love to
part
see
of
it.
that. And so
Love to.
a WrestleMania is coming. We have 2 World Cups coming. We have
The Olympics.
the Olympics
I
is
Okay.
the
think I
final,
think the
Paralympics.
NBA All-Star game is going to
Yeah.
come either
Hmm.
next year or the year after. So, Yeah, there's a lot of activities going on. Plus, on top of that, Metro is doing a lot of building. Metro Link is doing a lot of building. So there's all kinds of stuff, man. All these businesses, people are reaching out to me and say, "Hey, I want to start building my team. I would like you on it. Do you know of any other subcontractors?" So these are things that we can have ready and available. And like I say, you're going to be an extension of what I do in terms of assessment for these businesses, because if they're collecting money online, automatically I'm going to have to refer them to you because they need to be protected.
Right, exactly. And so we also, and one of the things she made a very pointed statement yesterday that, there's so many big contracts and a lot of our smaller businesses won't be able to meet the compliance of that or the capability of that, but or the capacity of that. That's what I meant. But there's so many other opportunities, and really people being able to see other opportunities that will present themselves just with all these people in our city.
Correct.
And what can you offer beyond? Yeah, you may not get a contract with SoFi or what have you, but they're catering. There are all kinds of events that's going to go on, but they need to be set up with the proper payment structuring so they can get paid. I mean, I've gone to so many expos and vendors are there. They're like, "Oh, we don't take money. We don't have a way to take money." What the heck are you selling and you have no way to collect money? So you're like, okay, well, do you take? I mean, I was in Egypt and people were pulling out their machines. Here, tap it here.
Yes, exactly.
So Tina, what about a little taco truck or something like that? They're going to need your services as well,
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
So those are some of the big ones that we want to kind of get your way, because they have their machine, credit cards, whatever they do, but how compliant are they? And they probably never heard about the PCI compliance part of it. So yeah, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome, and I'll send you the show we did with Simona yesterday, but also the link. So if you ever want to tap in, it's every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. It's just an hour, but we bring all kinds of folks to the table, to the platform, and it's Zoom based, so you can actually see the people, and it was designed specifically for us to have a networking platform to know who's doing what and why they're doing it and how can you do business together.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yay.
And this show is going to be available to you too. As a matter of fact, it's live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So you can, after this, you can go right there, watch the show again, and you can clip it. You can take links from it and share it with your clients or new clients.
Thank you.
Because you've said some really interesting things on here. So if you can clip that part and present it to your new clients, especially about the PCI compliance piece, it's going to be amazing. So
I'll do Opus on it and get some clips for her and share it with her, and she can share it on her website, and also when you're out talking to other people. But we want to thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Very first weekend in November.
Beautiful. And I voted.
In fact, I'm getting ready to go take care of mine. So I got all the information, and so I need to be able to finish the ballot and then go drop it in a secure, safe. I'm so glad we live in California. I don't know what to do, because if we live somewhere else, I'd have to walk it to the White House myself.
Exactly.
California, I feel so grateful to live here.
So can you just drop it in the U.S. postal mail? Can you just do that?
No, there's boxes.
No, there's special drops.
Special drops. But in other states they're burning the boxes up. So, but I'm gonna take mine over to the Senior Citizen Center.
What is wrong with these people, man?
They're crazy, man. They're crazy.
Yes. Well, again, thank you both. I look forward to moving forward and just learning more and getting to know you professionally and personally.
Yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
I'm here to support your endeavors and with your clients as
Tina,
well.
you got my number and
Yes,
email
I
in the
do.
chat, so go ahead and take it down. I want to schedule something with you next week, whether
Okay.
the fifth, sixth, or seventh.
All
So
righty.
let's do that because,
All
like
right.
I say, man, I'm double paying right now. I need to get rid of one of these guys.
Got it.
It's like having
I'm
two
your
bad.
gal.
It's like having two bad girlfriends. I want to get rid of both of them. Get a
And
new
start
one.
anew.
I know, right? Nice and fresh with more knowledge. Yeah.
All righty.
All
So we're
righty.
gonna
All
thank
right.
you
Take
very
care.
much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All
So
righty.
Miss
So
Miss Gilbert,
yes.
we are closing up. How was your? We're gonna do our upfront and our back front.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
My week
And
was pretty good. I had quite a few things that I had to take care of with some small businesses, so that was great. You remember I told you about that fraud situation that was on my bank account. Somebody decided to scam my bank account, and
ooh,
they took all kinds of money out of it. So I was able to meet with the bank, one of their upper managers, and they kind of worked some things out. Still tell me I owe 5,000, which I don't think I do because I haven't used that account since 2020. So
well, how did you? How do you? So oh, it was a dormant account that you hadn't used at
yeah,
your
it's
bank.
been sitting there, and somehow somebody got a hold of three of my cards that's tied to this cash flow manager account. The cash flow manager account is like a line of credit, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody off the street can't just get access to that. It has to be someone on the inside. And I keep telling them, I said, listen, I think this is an inside job, man, but they don't want to acknowledge it because that's going to be egg on their face. I said,
Wow.
I know this is definitely an inside. You guys need to do your investigation and dig deeper to see, if there's a disgruntled employee that you guys fired and I kind of think I have an idea who is it. So
Wow.
they're
So what bank?
working on it right now. Yeah.
What bank were you with?
US Bank.
Oh,
US
that's right, you
Bank.
bank. And they,
They're not
usually
really
hear.
small business friendly either.
Yeah, no, they usually are not
Yeah,
small
they're not
business
small
friendly.
business friendly.
Mm-mm.
And even
No.
their customer service is horrible. When you call people and say, "Hey, I have this situation. Can I speak with a manager?" Why do you need to speak with a manager? It's like,
Yeah.
come
And I
on.
tell that's the other thing I tell businesses all the time, and I'm sure you do as well, is that not all banks are created equal.
Yes.
And so you really have to do your due diligence to make sure that this bank is going to be beneficial for you, whether you
Yes.
need money or you don't need money.
Exactly.
But you do need to make sure that they will be there for you when you need them,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's really important. You can't
Yeah. This
wait.
this bank has never been friendly to me. And as a matter of fact, when I first approached them in 2017, I went to them for a line of credit. Did,
Mm,
did I get a line of credit? No, they gave me a loan on some credit cards. That's not what I wanted. So they gave me the
mm.
wrong product. And then the guy who issued it, which he was really adamant about not giving me a line of credit, he's the one, I guess they either fired him, like a few weeks after that. So he's the one who left. And I think he's the one who took my information and then made it available to
Oh,
his
that's
friends or,
possible.
yeah. And
That's
then now
possible.
they're accessing my business line of credit. Because remember I told you in March, the bank called me up and said, "Hey, were you using your card in the UK at Costco's?" I'm going, "What? I'm not in the UK. I'm here in California right now. As a matter of fact, I'm in a pharmacy trying to get my prescription." you know
Wow.
so they said, "Oh, well, someone just used your card at a Costco's." I said, "Listen, man, you better close that account right away."
And did they refund you whatever they?
Yeah, they did. They did
Okay.
refund whatever that amount was. And then on this account, this account that the fraud occurred on,
Hmm.
these people took $5,000 out of the account and they put it the down payment on a Tesla. and then they took another 6,000. Then they bought the Fashion Nova clothes on Fashion Nova. They pay their insurance. Their
No, they're not. Are they? Where was all this taking
I
place?
don't know. See, that's the problem, because when they claim they're doing the bank claim they're doing their investigation, I said, okay, so if you investigated, you should have known where these charges occurred, and where it's coming from, because I want to have an idea, where is this
So that
person
when
located that's
not not
accessing my account?
right, no money, nothing like what yours. But when I remember last year when I went to Cairo, when I
Yeah,
went to Egypt, my account was compromised. I was on the plane,
yeah,
and the great thing is I had called the bank to let them know that I had already gone to the bank and gave them my whole itinerary.
you're right.
And so when I called them and I saw it happening, I called them and they're like, "Oh wow!" Because there was charges in DC,
What?
uh, two charges in DC, and I was in the air, and then charges in New York. That's where it was, and it actually pinpointed where they were. It was like like $900.
So they
Pinpointed
pinpointed it, right?
it. Yeah, the
See,
statement
that's what
pinpointed.
I wanted. I wanted these guys to investigate that and find out where it occurred. They're saying, well, we don't really need to. Yes, if you're
Yes,
doing
you do
criminal
have to because then
investigation,
that
yeah,
proves that is not you because
exactly.
mine actually had pinpointed where it was. And when I came back, they shut mine, they closed everything down while I was away.
Yeah,
And then when I came back, I had to file a report. And then they did their investigation and it was like, oh, the money was back in like 2 days later.
man,
Because I had told them where I was. But if it's in another state, then it definitely can't be you. You know,
exactly. And
and
this
and,
one was even in another country.
right, and so buying a Tesla, that's not a little bit of thing.
No.
That's criminal right there. Isn't that over 1,500 to 5 grand? And
Oh,
then the
that's a
six,
lot. That's a lot. And
yeah,
then
I would
even after they bought the Tesla, they've been
mhm.
paying every month. They've been paying the insurance on the Tesla, $461 a month for the insurance. Sometimes they pay 500, so I guess they're late fees or whatever. But
Wow.
they've been diligently doing that. And then they bought clothes at Fashion Nova. So I don't know if it's a woman or a man that's doing it, but somebody
Well, they
with
should be able,
with
and they
yeah,
still that was before you stopped them though. They finally stopped it, right?
yeah, they finally stop it. And then after they claim they did their investigation, they say, okay, now you owe us 5,000. So we need this from you, or we're putting you in collections. I'm going, wait a second. How can you put me in collections if there's fraud on the account? Weren't you supposed to freeze the account, investigate, and then let me know what's going on? So then we can move on from that.
Wow. Yeah, you might need to be suing them because that's just all wrong on every level. Because your account is there's some what do you call that where once they do the because even PayPal, even some of the cash apps will do the
Yeah,
same thing. If that's not you,
yeah,
then they will they will refund back. Yeah, I don't know what you.
exactly.
I would call the FDIC if I were you and go
Yeah,
straight to the top.
I'm gonna report them, and I'm definitely gonna file a lawsuit for the remainder they're trying to charge me, because not only do they put it in collections, but during that time when because I was still making payment, they were doing automatic payment out of my other bank account on the account,
Mm,
even though I haven't used it since 2020, right? So I
right.
noticed my payment was going up from 300 something to now 700. And I'm going, wow. So half of that was going towards interest. So I said,
Oh.
I got to get back that money that you guys were taking for interest also.
Right. Well, why did they shut after the first time you reported it? Why didn't they shut it down?
See, they claim it's not their policy to close an account. They're saying if we shut it down, we're going to open another one and give you a new card. I'm going, I don't want a new card. Just close the account, because obviously someone is getting to these accounts. How
Yeah,
can
they're supposed to prevent that from
yeah,
happening. So
how can
yeah,
criminals get access to 3, 4 accounts all at once? You see what I'm saying? In the
right.
same
That
bank.
makes no sense.
So
Yeah.
that's why I believe it's an inside job, man, and they don't want to admit it.
Right.
They don't want to admit
Yeah.
it.
No. No. That there must be some legal. They definitely have to have some legal.
Yeah.
some legal representation there. Before we shut out, I just want to share this with my little kids that
Yes, yes,
won the
yes.
competition. So
Congrats.
that's my two students that did such a fantastic job at the competition.
Can we get them
I
on the show?
I will work on getting them on the show. Probably maybe during the holidays when they're not. Because
Yeah.
Lucio, he has a very rigid uh, 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 daily schedule, and so right now they're definitely in school.
This is
But
great.
he's going back to. So he will be going. He's first place and he will be going back to New York for the international competition
Oh, that's
on
amazing. When is
November
that? When is that going to
22nd.
be? When?
November 22nd, we're not
Oh,
going
wow,
back.
that's close. That's
Yeah, we're not going to turn
wow.
around and go back. So on the 22nd, so that's just before the Thanksgiving holiday, and so he'll be competing on the world stage,
That's
and
amazing. You know they're
so
gonna win, right? Because your
yeah.
kids always win, man.
Yeah, and so Lona here, Miss Lona, she came in second place, so she got $5,000, I believe
That's
it was,
great. That is so good, man. You
so very proud of
co-host,
both
you're
of them.
doing such a great job with those kids, man. I'm so proud of you. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, so
Get,
congratulations to both of them and the
yes,
hard work on their part. So proud of them. They did such a fantastic job. They had the other contestants following them around
that's what I'm
uh,
talking about.
afterwards, and they were competing against them. And one young man came up like, "Man, you're good." He was telling Lucio, "You're good, man, Lucio. You're good." And so I just proud of both of them. So congratulations to both of them. And yes, I'll work on getting them on the show
Oh, for sure,
sometime
for
in
sure.
doing February, November, or it might be possibly December when they're out of school.
You and Miss Rhonda, man, you guys been doing a great job with those programs. This is what, 4 years in a row now? You got first and second place?
Oh, five.
5 years in a row,
Yeah,
man.
they said this shouldn't be the Nifty program. This should be the Rhonda and
And
Rhonda and
Crystal.
Crystal should program. And here's what's so funny: when they call their names, we are like, oh, we got one, and then we're waiting for the other one, and then at the end, we just closed out of 53 kids. Their kids rose to the top for the final round, which was then 19 children, and then it was that to the final. And so one of the teachers sought me out. I had come out of the room where they had announced it, the conference room, and he said, "Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I need to talk to you." And another lady said, "I don't know what y'all doing, but I need to what y'all just took over the show." And I said, "And you know we
Man.
always take over the show in L.A., but now we went to New York and took over the show."
All right, so now you guys are national. We
We
want
are
to make it
national.
international now. Man,
So
I'm so proud
hopefully,
of you and the kids, man. You and Miss Rhonda, the kids. This is just so amazing, man.
yeah.
You
So
know you got to
thank
build a special program. You got to do that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
let's
This is
take it county to county.
yeah, yeah. We were really really excited. Yeah, it was cool. It was well worth the trip.
Yeah.
And it was actually for me a it kind of broke up me going 17 hours to Cairo
Yeah.
initially or Doha, and I was able to break it up. So let me share their picture of them uh, with their checks. So
That's
and then
amazing.
with their checks,
How much
and
did how much did he get?
he got 10,000.
Oh, and she got five.
Yeah. And no, two. She got 2,500. They kind of split it around, but he got the 10,000, and he's going to have an opportunity to. These are the judges behind them. He's going
Yeah.
to have an opportunity, and this young lady came in third place. He's going to have an opportunity to sit down with Damon John
Good.
for 45 minutes. So that's his
Yeah.
mom, and so she was so proud of him.
Is
And
he
his
younger
brother.
than is he younger than the second place winner?
Oh yes. No,
Oh
he's
man.
older. He's
Oh,
in his
okay.
11th year, and his program is I'm trying to see if there. Yeah, there you go. His program is a software app that AI assisted, but it doesn't write the essays for them. They write the essay, and then it comes back in and makes it more impactful. And then it also does match up to scholarships that the kids can apply for, and it helps them complete the application. So
maybe he can help me with my app on Small Biz Pro, because I've been looking for someone to help me out with that app. So, hey, man.
Yeah, his brother is the one that actually is doing the design of the software, the app. So, so very, very proud of them all, and just thrilled to death with them. All right, guys, we have had a great show today, and so we're gonna end the show, and we're gonna wish you all a great weekend. We won't see you until after election day, so please go out and vote.
Yeah.
As you can see, streaming on the bottom tracker there, voting is my black job. So that's what I got to do this week. Is my black job. Is to make sure I get
this week.
Kamala Harris. That's who I'm voting for. So there you go. I'm going to be voting for her. And in fact, I'm going to go in this weekend. So I'm going to do it before the election day. But we want you to please go out and vote. Drag some friends.
So tell them, if they don't want to go to the polling station, tell them where to find those drop box. Where do they find
actually,
those,
if they look on the back of their ballot, it gives you exactly where the ballot drop boxes are near your residence. So if you got your ballot, just turn the page over and it tells you where to go. You can also go to Norwalk if you're close to Norwalk, and you can drop it off there at the actual Hall of Records, and they can and they will take the ballot as well and get your red I voted, and there you go. And so we want everyone to go out and vote. So with that, Gilbert, we're going to play, because I don't think you have that accessibility on.
I do have the access, yes.
Okay, all right. Let's kick our song off, and
all right.
Bye everyone. We'll see you next week.
All righty.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control.